Hello and welcome back to the Villa View for another video. Now today we are at the Holy Land, the Holy Grail that is Villa Park. Just under a year ago we did some predictions ahead of the new season, and now it's time to reflect on those and actually see how many of these we actually got right and how many of them we did get catastrophically wrong. Let's get into it. So Dan, your predictions first of all. On the basis beforehand, how would you have said you predicted?
Well, I don't know, because I haven't seen it, so...
Well, a year ago.
I know I've made some awful Villa shouts, looking back, that I vaguely recall, but I think some of them will be... I think it would be two extremes, that they'll either be completely spot on or way off, nowhere near, and I imagine there's going to be no middle ground with what I've said. We're
going to start with the other predictions. So this was Premier League winner, Premier League top six, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Premier League winner, Chelsea.
1 for 1, good start.
Top six, you said Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Spurs, Everton.
Well off then.
Yeah, you
so
are.
I didn't
well
put
off.
Liverpool in the top six?
No, you didn't. You put them nowhere. I don't know where you've even put Liverpool in this list, but Liverpool you've not put in that.
I find that very bizarre that I would have done that, because I've always quite liked Jurgen Klopp.
Well,
so I'm surprised that I did that. But
well, you put Everton in there.
Maybe I'd forgotten about Liverpool existed at the time. That's the only thing I can think of. I was well off, wasn't I? Because I think the teams I put in the Champions League, Man U and Arsenal didn't get top four.
Yeah.
Man City didn't come second, did they? They came third.
Yeah.
But yeah, unlucky would be how I describe that.
Premier League relegation, Hull, Watford, West Brom. You got the one.
Yeah, West Brom shocked me. They finished 8th, 9th, 10th, somewhere in the top 10. They did pretty well. Very good season for them. I think they've hit their ceiling. But then that's probably what they would have, if they'd have had aims, they'd have said, hit the ceiling. I thought they'd struggle. And obviously, they didn't. Purely decided that he wanted to play a bit of a nicer brand of football this year. They made some half-decent signings, so fair play to them. They'll never be the pride of the Midlands, but they've had a good season. And then Hull, obviously at the time they had Mike Phelan, a bit of upheaval. They didn't have any players at the start of the season, and obviously they came close to staying up. Got a good manager in for the second half of the season, so I'm pleased with that. And Watford, I saw them having a strange season because they had a mishmash of players, and they've stayed up, haven't they, quite comfortably in the end. So that's well off as well. Matthew Lynch, you went Premier League winner, Chelsea. 1 point.
Thank you.
So well done. Well done there for you. Your top six, I think you've done slightly better than me, because you've gone Chelsea, Man City second, United third, Spurs fourth, Arsenal fifth, and Liverpool sixth. So you deserve credit there, because you've put Spurs in the top four, which was a good shout, and you've also had Arsenal finishing bang on at fifth. So shockingly, you've done better than me.
I've got all six that actually finished the top six.
Oh yeah, that's fair as well. I wasn't going to say anything about that, so it's a good job you noticed. So well done there, you've done very well. And then in typical Matt Lynch form, Premier League relegation, you've looked at what...
Hang on, I think I went first with this one. I said this one first before you.
You've looked at what the older, smarter guy's done, and you've done exactly the same. Hull, Watford, West Brom.
Well, I mean, we've touched on West Brom, they've had an amazing season. Watford somehow survive every year, despite all the upheaval every year. Hull City, doesn't really surprise me that they went down despite Marco Silva turning them around. So next up, we're going to be going to Premier League top scorer, Premier League player of the year, Champions League winner, Champions League top scorer, and Ballon d'Or. Dan, top scorer, Aguero. I mean, it's a fair shout. Injury.
He always gets injuries, doesn't he? The start Man City, because we did these just after the transfer window, didn't we? So Man City had obviously got off to a flyer. He was scoring every week, and then obviously injuries, and he lost his place to Jesus towards the end of January, I think, after he'd come in, and then injuries always curtail Aguero. But I don't think he was too far off, was he? Had another very good season. He's always a safe shout for top scorer, even though he hasn't got it on this occasion. So I think most people, you can't knock me for that, I don't think.
Notable honourable mention for Harry Kane as well, with his goal scoring exploits. 29 goals.
Unbelievable.
Player of the year, originally you said Dimitri Payet in your first prediction video. Then corrected that to Eden Hazard, who I must say has had an amazing season.
He was probably second
best player this season by some distance.
Arguably could have won it. For me, arguably should have won it. Kante's obviously amazing. He's won the league 2 years in a row with 2 different teams, and obviously Leicester went the way they went when he departed. But for me, Hazard was the best individual in the Premier League this season, so I feel like I've been a bit hard done by there. Yeah,
it's unfortunate. Champions League winner, you stuck with your guts on this one. You said Bayern Munich, didn't quite make it.
No. When did they get knocked out? Juventus did them.
Yeah.
Juventus got to the final. Again, Bayern's a reasonably sound shout, but they haven't done it. Yeah, wrong.
Champions League top scorer, Suarez, who to me is obviously a good shout as well.
Yeah, he didn't get it though, did he?
Cristiano Ronaldo, 12 goals, that won that one. And Ballon d'Or, smashed that one. Cristiano Ronaldo, not bad.
I don't know why I picked Ronaldo for the Ballon d'Or because of Portugal winning the Euros. So I should have really held on to the Real Madrid theme, and I'd done okay there. But it's tough to do predictions at the start of the season. You can look stuff you say at the time looks like a reasonable shout, and then turns out not to be. So unlucky again. But at least I got Ballon d'Or correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Ready?
No.
Okay. So Premier League top scorer. Matt Lynch's initial prediction was a name I'm not going to pronounce right for sure. Batshuayi at Chelsea.
To me, Batshuayi.
Yeah.
That one. To me at the time, he was a decent shout, and when he has come on this season, he's scored goals. So for me, could have been, but obviously, Diego Costa was the one that did the business.
Well, you can sit there and do all this and say could have been,
bit of Italian,
but he wasn't.
Yeah,
he didn't. Oh, your next one is special. Premier League Player of the Year. Your first guess was Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, reasonable.
Well, no, it wasn't because he was nowhere near. And you went with Raheem Sterling for Premier League Player of the Year. Thoughts?
Well, you don't win anything by not taking risks.
What does that mean?
That made no sense whatsoever, so we'll swiftly move on. Again, Matt Lynch copycat came out for Champions League winner, Bayern Munich. You went with. We've gone through that. You've copied me, simple as that. Champions League top scorer, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Did he get it? He did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Snuck it at the end. Damn. So you've done well there. Fair play to you. Yeah. It doesn't take a specialist to guess Ronaldo, but obviously I didn't. And then Ballon d'Or, nowhere near. Gareth Bale.
Injuries ruined him a little bit.
Yeah, didn't even play in the final. But you've done well with the top Champions League top scorer. I'll give you your due there. Just being alerted to the fact that your original Champions League prediction was a team that finished 9th in the Premier League, I think the season before, and weren't even in the Champions League, Chelsea.
Well, you said nothing about it at the time, and I'd sort of forgotten how bad a season they had the previous year.
Sometimes you've got to be happy to let your partner make a mistake, and I think at that point I was happy for you to look stupid.
I think we soon realised it though. So we're moving on now to Championship predictions. Championship winner, top 2, top 6, Player of the Year, playoff winner, Championship top scorer, and Championship relegation. Dan, Championship winner, Newcastle United, bang on. Top 2, Newcastle Brighton, bang on again.
Thank you, Jack Grealish.
Not bad. Top 6, I mean, it's okay. 4 of them. You said Newcastle, Brighton, Huddersfield, Villa, Norwich, Sheffield Wednesday.
Close with Villa, wasn't I?
Wasn't and Norwich as well.
Wasn't far off. Norwich weren't too far away.
No.
To be fair, but at the time again, there were reasonable shouts at the time. I was actually very apprehensive about Villa. I feel a bit like I was bullied to put Villa in the top 6. I wasn't going to put them in there, but I felt like I had to at that stage because you made an outlandish prediction. If I recall, we'll come on to that. I'm sure. Yeah. Unlucky. Sheffield Wednesday, obviously. Huddersfield. They weren't well fancied at the start of the season. But I think they'd got off to a decent start at that point when I put them in. So, yeah.
Playoff winner. You said Villa Brighton. Villa win.
Why did I say that when I put Brighton to finish second?
But that's apparently what you said.
I think someone's taken the notes down wrong.
Dan Rolinson.
There, we'll have to go back and look at the video and see if I did say that.
Championship top scorer. Originally you said Forestieri.
Yeah.
Then you moved on to Britta Sombalonga, who was obviously well off.
Was he?
Because of injuries and
playing for Forest.
Playing for Forest, yeah. Top scorer was in fact Chris Wood. Championship player of the year, Jack Grealish.
We'll move on swiftly.
Championship relegation. I mean, 2 of the 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cardiff. All right, yeah.
Well, I mean, you got even close with your original prediction. You said Forest, Blackburn, Rotherham. Your second prediction was Cardiff, Blackburn, Rotherham. So, reasonable, I'd say there. You can come out that one and scale.
Cardiff were in trouble at one point until they got Warnock in. They were looking certs. So, yeah, happy with that. I've done all right there. A couple of questionable shouts, obviously, but in the main, as you say, I've come away unscathed.
Yeah.
Hopefully you haven't. The Matt Lynch prediction car crash continues. Championship winner, Newcastle. Fair. But I think, again, if you'd have had to put money on someone at the start of the season, it would have been Newcastle. Villa second. What do you think of that?
I think my optimism got the better of me.
What did you base that on at the time? Just the fact that we made a lot of signings?
I just thought they'd come good a lot quicker than they did. I thought Roberto Di Matteo would pick up a little bit and we'd get motoring, but it never meant to be. Like, at the start of the season, we were playing teams and we were battering them, and everyone was like, right, we're going to knock a team for 6 in a few weeks and that'll be that, and we'll roll from there. But that never happened.
No, it did not.
So, but at the time, it felt reasonable.
You've gone for an obvious top 2, I'd say. 2 teams that have just come down, the 2 teams that spent the most money. You've gone obvious, and it's not paid off for you. So top 6, Newcastle, Villa, Brighton, Sheffield Wednesday, Huddersfield, QPR.
Yeah.
Yeah? Thoughts?
The time, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank.
He's a good manager, actually. I think that's a mistake there.
Yeah, the stability at QPR is not great in terms of managers, but at the time they were doing okay. Other than that, I think it's not too bad. Huddersfield stuck it out. Sheffield Wednesday, always a good shout to put in there as well. So 4 of the 6, it's not bad.
Unfortunately for me, you've actually got the championship. I haven't got the championship top scorer right. Have you? You've come very close with Dwight Gale. Injuries have killed him, to be fair. He'd have walked away with it, ran away with it had he stayed fit. But I'm going to choose to focus on your original predictions before the season started of Kemar Roof or Jose Perez for top goal scorer.
Well, Jose Perez was scoring goals in the Premier League. And then Kemar Roof, that was a wild shout just because everyone was saying big prospect, Leeds were going to have a decent season, which they did, to be honest. And I sort of expected him to be part of it. And then didn't actually score his first goal for Leeds until he played Aston Villa in December.
Championship Player of the Year was actually Anthony Knockout, as we know. Your original prediction, you really took a fancy to Kemar Roof at the start.
It's got started him at Villa at the time.
Something about him you obviously liked. You went with Richie of Newcastle in the end. Not a bad shout, he had a good season. I think he made the team of the year.
Yeah, he could have rivaled Anthony Knockout, I think, quite easily.
He made the team of the year, didn't he? So, reasonable, but nonetheless wrong. And Championship relegation, Rotherham, Blackburn, Preston. Preston had a good season.
Yeah, they did, Finished above us, didn't they?
Well, again, I'm going to go around to the first prediction round. I think that's Fulham to finish bottom of the league. And they got in the playoffs.
Well, at this point, they were struggling, and it was before they'd signed Floyd Ayite, for example, who'd signed from Anderlecht.
Game of the season against Newcastle.
Yeah, they did, but other than that, they were struggling because they did a few games after that. But anyway, at the time, they were struggling. Didn't really have a striker. Obviously, Ross McCormack. I thought, that's their goal's gone, but they recovered really well. Sona Luke had the season of his life.
I'd like to point out you saying they had struggled a bit when you said Fulham. I think the season had started, Matt.
I'm sure it had.
I don't think it had.
Then why did we predict Huddersfield to be in the top 6?
Yeah, in the second round, but in the first round, when you predicted Fulham, the season hadn't started. That's why we got the chance to avoid them.
Right.
So, you're talking bad shout.
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe the worst shout on there.
Chelsea Champions League, quite bad, isn't it? The big predictions. Aston Villa predictions,
This was the bit I wasn't particularly looking forward to be honest.
To be honest, I'm not either, but Villa finish 4th.
Well off.
Yeah.
Only 9 off.
Yeah, we'll come to that very shortly. Top scorer, nailed it by only 1 goal off as well.
Really?
Jonathan Codger.
But how many goals?
18 goals, scored the 19 goals.
You cannot teach that level of prediction. You just cannot teach that. So I'm going to go with Codger, or as I'm going to call him, JK, because I'm still not sure I've got the pronunciation. 18 goals.
It's a brave prediction. Villa player of the season, Jack Grealish.
Yeah, I was very Kemar Roof with Jack Grealish at the start of the season. I fancied him to go on and work wonders for us. To be honest, I still think he could have done. Because if you look at the limited game time he had, he's still got 5 goals. And I don't know how many assists he got, but he won a lot of penalties and stuff. I'm going to go now and say next season is going to be the one for him.
Okay.
We've got a talent on our hands, we just don't utilise him in the right way. He's in and out of the team. He's belittled at times, to be honest, which I don't think he should be. He's a very, very good player. He should be too good for the Championship. We just need to give him a run in his proper position, and that kind of prediction can come true.
I really can't argue with it, to be honest. I can argue with the next one, though. Young player of the season, Antish Bowler.
Again, at the time, he was playing. He was really one of the only youngsters playing, so it was the logical choice, but obviously logical doesn't always yield results.
We agreed off camera that young player of the season should be Andre Green based on breakthrough, and then obviously Villa player of the season we've gone with our winner Codger.
I know the club didn't do awards for whatever reason, probably because they didn't do it in the season before either. They're probably just playing it safe because I don't want any backlash, because obviously 13th in the Championship isn't what anyone wanted, but it would have been Codger and Green. Green's had a real breakthrough season. and he'll go places for us next season. So these are your specialist Villa predictions.
Yeah.
Matt Lynch, presenter of the Villa View,
Yeah.
a fan channel about Aston Villa, just to clarify. So Villa finish second, wrong.
Claret tinted glasses.
Villa top scorer. Again, I can see why you did it at the time, but you were just way off base. Ross McCormack.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to expand on that? Or are you just going to say, yeah, okay?
Well, to be honest, at the time when he came in, no other player had scored more goals than him in the past 3 seasons before that. On that record, why the hell wouldn't you be picking him? But it's just not meant to be for him. And I think this season coming, I really do think he can still make an impact.
I do think he'll get a second chance, to be fair.
I think he'll get the second wind and hopefully he can score some goals. Don't think he'll be top scorer for us, but I think he'll score goals for us next season.
I enjoy your positivity. You said who else would someone say, but obviously I said Jonathan Codger, 18 goals. That's what someone else would say.
Yeah.
Villa player of the season, you also went for Jack Grealish. We've already gone into detail of what we think about that. And you also copied me for young player of the season, Aaron Tishibola. You're going to use the same excuse I used?
Well, to be honest, yeah. There's no better way to describe it. And at the time he was playing games, Andre Green was on the fringes as such as when Tishibola was actually the only young player that was playing.
I thought I'd said Grealish for player and young player, but obviously I didn't. Obviously the facts don't lie.
No, they don't.
Both wrong.
Yeah. So if we were in school still, which luckily we're not because some of these predictions I think we'd put bottom of the class, but I'd say that probably as a D.
I think that's probably fair. Maybe a D minus if we're being particularly
We're not in America.
harsh. I just wanted to give you a D minus because I'm going to give myself a C plus.
I'd give C minus to be honest.
No, C plus. I've obviously got Newcastle, Brighton, bang on, Chelsea for the league, bang on. I was one off with Codger with the goal. I've done okay. I can do better.
Yeah, must do better.
And you will see a change this time. This time next year when I'm reviewing my predictions, I'm going to get at least a B.
That's the improvement. That's the standards we are setting.
I'm going to get myself a B.
I'm about to go and just leave now. I can't even associate myself anymore after this horrific display of predictions. But if you ever enjoyed this video, then please do drop us that like below. Comment in what your predictions were at the start of the season, what they are now, and subscribe to the Villa View. We will post notifications on if you're new to the channel.
If you enjoyed that video, why not watch another? Click the video choices on screen now to go and watch them in full. Be sure to subscribe to the channel by clicking our logo there on the left. Easy peasy.